I would actually, there have been many, but I think one that really stands out for me and which really touches me quite, deep at a personal as a professional level, what would be Unilever Pakistan's Livable Independence campaign. So in Pakistan, it is by introduction, Pakistan is a developing country. And, like other countries, we have also been hit by inflation, some to do with, let's say, the post aftermath of COVID, but also in terms of our economic and all, it's not the best of times to be in. And especially for people who are in the categories of, let's say, drivers, maids, plumbers and all. So really really need to understand how are they able to manage their monthly or day-to-day expenses. So this particular social experiment campaign that was designed and executed by Unilever really was something which stood out from all the relevant campaigns that I saw, as to how you can raise awareness when somebody is doing a financial planning for 2023, because this was last year. So in Pakistan, if I can just give you some statistics, right now the minimum wage that has been set by the government is PKR 32,000 rupees, which is approximately equivalent to 114 US dollars a month. Yeah. So the overall campaign was designed as to how different individuals from different walks of life, affluent individuals, are going to attempt to budget for essential expenses. For example, school fee, groceries, medical bills, rent, transportation, etc., etc. All which are, considered very, very mandatory, essential for any common person, that they need to, take into account these expenses. And then they were given like these, cardboard boxes, each listed with a certain denomination of the overall 32,000, and they were asked that, okay, please try to fit in all of these boxes which you feel which are essential. So there was a timer for all this experiment, but at the end of the timer, none of them were able to fit all the essential expenses under the 32,000 cap. And when they were interviewed after the campaign, they said, we are we actually are very, very concerned deeply as to how people earning the minimum wage or close to it in Pakistan, like domestic workers, drivers, laborers, manage to survive under these conditions. So it was able to garner a lot of awareness among individuals at the institution and at the government level about the critical need for a reasonable and a livable minimum wage, as opposed to one that only permits a challenging and a strenuous survival. So I think for me that campaign was really, really nice. I think it was something which really, really stood out. And why for me, as I said, personally and professionally, because it addresses a critical issue. Because yes, you do I'm a salaried individual as well, but at the same time, there are people who come, you're working with in the office. Also there are people at home who come to support different domestic chores. So it highlights a serious issue that what a common person faces, inflation, especially for even middle and middle low people as well, and how it impacts us more even severely with people with minimum wages. It is realistic, because it's not something that you're asking to accommodate something which is perhaps not essential. So as I said, groceries, school fee, rent, medical bills, transportation, and petrol, you cannot just live without these things. It is a daily requirement in our lives. Similarly, it raises a lot of awareness and advocacy at an individual, institutional, and government level. And of course, at the same time, it was backed by a social experiment, because it was not just me and you talking or anybody else. It was actually a social experiment where they had invited different people from different walks of life to balance and see if anybody can balance all of these expenses under the 32,000 minimum wage.